Welcome back to Debian Mastery on Lesson 13, where we lock down the demons sitting on port 22. Last lesson closed the firewall, but SSH stays open by design, so now we harden it. We're covering the 80/20 keys-only auth, a modern cipher and kex suite, and match blocks for per user and per network rules. By the end, SSHDT confirms no passwords, no root login, and SSH audit grades the box an A. Start with the highest leverage change. Kill password auth entirely. A botnet hammering port 22 at 12 guesses a second is a statistical inevitability. An ed2/19 key is not. The deploy order is non-negotiable. Generate the key pair on your machine, push the public half with SSH copy ID, then actually log in with the key and confirm it works. Only after that connected echo comes back do you flip password authentication to no, run SSHDT to catch typos and reload. Reverse that order and you've locked yourself out of prod UO1. Keys solve who connects. Crypto solves how that connection is protected. And Debian's default SSHD still accepts at SHA-1 Max, CBC ciphers, vulnerable to Lucky 13, and ancient key exchange, all for backward compatibility nobody actually needs. Drop a single file into ssgconfig.d with an explicit allow list, AEAD ciphers only, Cha-Cha 20 Poly13 5, leading for boxes without AES and E, SN-TRUP761 for post-quantum hybrid key exchange, encrypt then MAC-MAX, and ed25519 host keys first. Then verify externally with SSH audit. Anything less than grade A means you've still got legacy bleeding through. Quick detour before we stack more config. Never edit SSHD config directly. That file belongs to the package, and apt will happily clobber it on the next upgrade. Instead, drop numbered files into sshdconfig.d, 10 for keys, 20 for crypto, 30 for limits, 40 for match blocks, 99 for the banner. Same etc. is yours rule from lessons 3 and 6. And when you want to know what SSHD actually runs with all drop-ins merged, sudo SSHDT is the source of truth, not the files themselves. Now for the real power tool, match blocks. They let you override any directive based on user, group, IP, or host name. So your backup account gets locked to a single rsync command, your office subnet skips the 2FA prompt, and anything from the public internet gets forced through public key plus TOTP. Pattern 4 is the classic root jail for vendor SFTP. No shell, no tunneling, just file drop. One rule that will save you. Match blocks always go last in the config because they apply downward until the next match or end of file. With access rules locked down, we turn to the demon's own behavior. MaxAuth tries 3 drops the connection after 3 bad passwords instead of 6. Logan Grace Time 30 kills any session that hasn't authenticated in half a minute. And Max Startups 103060 starts dropping unauthenticated floods probabilistically. That's your DDoS cushion. Client alive interval plus count max evicts forgotten Tumux sessions after 10 idle minutes, and turning off X11 agent and TCP forwarding closes pivot paths you almost never use. Stack this on top of Lesson 12's NFTables rate limit, and brute force is effectively dead. But keys aren't bulletproof. Steal the laptop, you steal the key. That's where TOTP closes the loop. Install libpam Google Authenticator. Have each user run the setup once to scan a QR into Aegis or Authy, then wire it into PAM and flip Cabot Interactive Authentication on. The killer line is authentication methods, public key, keyboard interactive, comma means and, not OR, so the attacker now needs your laptop, your phone, and your unlock. Keep nullic during rollout, and always test from a second machine before you log out. Now zoom out and see how Lesson 13 fits the bigger picture. Layer 1. NFTables from Lesson 12, rate limits, new connections, and black holes, the noisy scanners before SSHD even wakes up. Layer 2, today's work. Keys only with MaxAuth tries 3, instantly fails the 99% running password lists. Layer 3, coming in Lesson 14, is fail2ban tailing auth.log and pushing repeat offenders into the SSH block list set for a full day. The proof is in the count. Yesterday, 50,000 failed attempts. Today, 3. Here's the honest framing. What you just learned is the 80-20, 20% of the effort that blocks 80% of real-world threats. The remaining 20% lives in SSH Mastery, a dedicated 13-lesson Dargslan course. Foundation digs into the protocol, agent internals, and SSH config mastery. Hardening goes beyond today into SSH certificates, short-lived signed certs that replace static keys entirely, plus fleet bastion design. Advanced auth brings PAM, FIDO2 hardware tokens, and SSO via OIDC. Operations covers ProxyJump chains, session recording, and audit pipelines. When you're ready to operate SSH at production scale, that's the path. Before we close, 5 gotchas that will bite you in production. Number 1 is the classic, flipping password authentication to no before your key is actually deployed and verified. Order matters, SSH copy ID, test with SSH, key, echo OK, then disable passwords. 2. Wrong perms on authorized keys silently reject you. SSH must be 0700, the file, or 600 owned by the user. 3. Never edit SSHD config directly. Apt upgrades clobber it. Use a drop-in under SSHD config. 4. Always run SSHDT before reload and SSHDT to see the effective config. 5. Tighten ciphers, break legacy clients silently. Audit with SSH, VV first, or stage the rollout dev to prod. Stepping back, here are the 6 skills you now own from Lesson 13. Keys only deploy in the right order. A modern crypto suite built on Cha-Cha-20 and Curve 25519. Clean drop-ins under SSHD config.e, match blocks for per user and per address rules. Sane limits with idle timeouts, and a 3-layer brute force defense. Lesson 14 picks up the 3rd layer. Fail2ban and CrowdSec, log-driven bans wired straight into your inevitables firewall. After that, your fleet's SSH layer is fortress grade. Lesson 13 is in the bag. Keys only, modern crypto, match blocks, and a 3-layer defense, all live. Next up, log-driven response. Fail2ban tails your logs and updates NFT sets the classic way. CrowdSec adds behavior detection and community block lists. Combine NFT, SSHD, and log-driven bans, and the door is closed. See you in Lesson 14.